Welcome back to another video, and today I will be reviewing the Louise products that I hauled during this summer. So welcome back, and today we are doing something a bit more different. So I thought that since I was meant to actually do a first impression video and I actually had the video filmed, but I didn't like the filming material of it, I actually ended up deleting it. So instead of doing a first impression of the Louise products that I hauled during the past summer time, I actually thought that I will actually include these in one collective review video instead. And because these will be included in this one single review video, the products here won't be included in my collective makeup review video or in the eyeshadow palette review video. So I'm actually like combining both the rest of the makeup products from the eyeshadow and also the eyeshadow palettes in one video. But there's definitely quite a lot here, and you will see all the products that are reviewed in the description box, so you can see that if there's a product you want to know how I felt about, then you can check there beforehand. And as always, I will be dividing this video as I usually do, so I will first go to base products, then to cheek products, then to lip products, and lastly to the eye products. But let's now actually get to the products that I hauled and how I felt about them. So first the base products. There were two base products, and I think these were both included in the sort of chocolate, the sort of Easter egg styled thin box that was one of the mystery boxes earlier in the spring that you could actually buy separately. So the first product is this one, so Smooth It Over Primer, and as the name implies, this is a smoothing primer. I will put a you will see how this looks like. So it's sort of white milky consistency and goes sheer on the hand as a primer should do. My opinions about this one: first of all, this has a bit of a scent. I can't describe exactly what kind of scent it is, but there's a scent, but it's not a bad scent, and it will dissipate once you put this on your face. I'd say in terms of smoothing primers, I still like my Essence, was it Poreless Partner Primer, I think is the name of it. It's in a white pink tube, actually has a similar color story to this one. So I think that still does a bit of a better job, but I do still think that this, you can clearly see the effect of this one when you apply it underneath your makeup. And if you like to buy from Louise and you want a smoothing primer, I do think this is good. And this is like something that doesn't pile or do anything funny when you apply it to your face, and I do think that it actually it does help what it's meant to do in terms of having your foundation going over it smoother. So pretty decent smoothing primer, not the best that I have ever tried, but if you want to buy one from Louise, I do think this does the job. Next base products was the Ready Set Shine Setting Spray. So I'm gonna see that if my camera can pick it up, but you can see there's golden reflex in this one. I like this. I do actually like what this does. However, I think there might be a bit of an issue in terms of how this is branded. So as you can see, it has the clear golden reflex within, but this actually doesn't really add any shine to my skin, which is actually good. So for me, this is purely like a setting spray that I think mattifies and helps in the longevity of my makeup. But if you are getting this hoping that it's gonna make your skin glowy, then I'm afraid this doesn't do the job. I also do appreciate the fact that the mister of this is actually quite fine. I don't know how visible that is to a camera, but as you can see. So okay, and now I got it some in my mouth. So the mister is quite fine. You can definitely smell the alcohol in this one, so if you have a super dry skin, I would not recommend this one. So for longevity, a good setting spray, but if you're thinking that this brings any kind of glow, then unfortunately that's a bit disappointing. And it's really strange because there is quite a lot of the gold shimmery stuff in this, so I don't know what happens in between when you spray this on your face, why it doesn't really show up. But I'm pretty happy because I was a bit afraid when I got this that okay, I'm gonna have my face full of golden shimmer. That doesn't actually happen. As I said, it's a decent setting spray for longevity. So cheek products are next, and we have quite a few. So first let's go to the individuals and then let's get to the palettes. So first, a newer product from the brand. So this is the Spoilt for Choice Cream Bronzer, and mine was in the shade Biscuit, Bestie, and I'm just gonna open this one. So first, what I'm gonna say about this one is that mine actually, and I think I mentioned this in the unboxing video that I did with this product, so mine, the pan was a bit loose when I got this, Now it seems that the magnet is keeping it, but just be aware that if you get this, maybe like shake the box a bit and see that if you hear that the pan is separated, then open it carefully so you don't have the cream bronzer pan all over your clothes or something. But now as I said, now it seems to stick down. This is because it is a cream and it is like a cream bronzer, so it is a bit on the, I'd say, like yellow leaning side, but for my particular skin tone, I do think this does a decent job. Something that I would maybe advise with this one, I don't know, is it the fact that it has the sort of embossing or something, but I found that in order to get the sort of amount product that I wanted for my like makeup needs, I had to use a denser like brush to get the sort of product out. So if you use a sort of fluffier contouring bronzing brush, you might not get the sort of maximum amount of product. You might actually then have to go quite many times. But with this one, I felt that the best you were able to get this to work is that when you used a denser sort of brush with it, then you got the sort of product out. Then you got like the right amount of product out of the pan. I do think that generally, if you're looking for a cream bronzer, this is a pretty decent formula. It blends quite nicely. I didn't feel that it looked streaky or that there was anything other strange things that it did when you applied it to the skin. So I would actually like recommend this from the brand if you're in the market looking for a cream bronzer. And I do think the packaging is quite cute, even though my pan was a bit loose when I got this one. Then a sort of another individual product. So this is their Flirt Flush of Color. So these are their OG cream blushes, and I was initially quite scared. I got this in one of the mystery boxes and I was thinking, okay, oh god, that's gonna be a carrot orange on my cheek, so we will have to be careful. This is actually pretty nice fall blush. So because this actually has a more of a, how should I say, the base of it has more red to it. So actually, I'm kind of trying to make it, you can kind of see it. So actually on particular my skin undertone, this actually goes a bit terracotta. I'm actually wearing this as my blush today. And this is actually pretty nice sort of terracotta fall shade. So actually this was a pretty, how should I say, positive surprise, and this is actually like quite a unique shade altogether, and that's saying quite a lot because you have seen my blush collection if you've watched any of my declutter and collection videos. So having this kind of blush shade in my collection is like I'm actually quite like pleasantly surprised. This is actually more of a buildable formula than what I expected, and not in a bad way, because people always likes to advertise their products that you get so much pigment and you get such like bang immediately, but actually with this one I noticed that you can get a more like sheer layer initially and then build it quite nicely, and it is very buildable, buildable, and it's very blendable. So if you have been like watching a lot of their TikTok or Instagram promo videos where they go that, oh, this is so pigmented immediately, then actually no, it is like more buildable and manageable. So if you have fair skin like I do, then there's actually like you do have some control with this one. So I think that if you have been eyeing and thinking that would you like to try this formula out, I would actually like recommend it, because I think it's a very nice formula, and as I said, I did like the shade surprisingly a lot. So now let's get to the two cheek palettes that I have. First one, this again came in the sort of thin Easter egg that I got, and this was the version that was for the like fair to light skin. So this was a Dream a Little Dream Desire to Inspire face palette. So this has a bronzing shade, and then there's a blush, and then there are two like highlighter, blush lighter kind of shades. This is a case where I think that I like two of the shades and two I don't. So these two shades in the bottom, the blush lighter shade and then the sort of peachy blush over here, these I like a lot. I actually was quite surprised how much I actually liked using this one on top of this particular blush if I wanted to make more glowy, and it really didn't make it look, because I was thinking that it's gonna make it look like there's individual sparkles, but actually it blended in with the matte blush underneath, making it look like you had a very nice like satin cheek. Unfortunately, two upper shades. With this one, I'd say the issue is that this is a bit more too warm on my particular skin. It is meant to be a bronzer shade, but comparing to the other bronzer-esque product that I have, for some reason this particular shade, even though it doesn't actually look too warm in the pan, it does pull too warm. This highlighter though, I would not recommend if you have any texture, and especially if you are someone in your 30s and you want to stay away from products that cause texture. Don't do this highlighter. This was the driest looking highlighter that I have tried like in a while, and it wasn't also the fact that the highlighter, like, because Louise likes to also advertise that they have these blinding highlighters, but actually on my cheeks it looked kind of dry. It didn't actually look like it was like very blinding, so it just looked basically like I had dry powder on my cheek. So if you get this face palette, then as I said, the blush and blush lighter kind of nice, but then the two upper shades. The bronzing powder actually worked quite nicely. I didn't have any issue in terms of blending or that it looked kind of odd. It's just that the undertone of it doesn't fit me. But for the two shades over here, I'm still like happy to like keep this around. But I do think that the upper highlighter in this one, the golden one, was kind of disappointing because I kind of expected more based on how Louise advertises their products. Okay, then the sort of bronzer palette that I got in my mystery boxes. So this is the Wrap It Up with Louise, and this is the very huge bronzing palette. I'm actually gonna see that how I'm gonna fit the frame. So for me, as I already discussed when I think I got this, if you get this sort of like a makeup artist will get full use of this one, but as an individual consumer, there's no way you're able to use all of these shades because for example, I can't basically all of these here are too dark for me, and also like these also don't fit in terms of undertone. However, the shades that I have been using are the two ones here, and this is kind of how they are. My camera is catching them. So this is a more neutral leaning shade, and then if I want something a bit warmer, I use this one. I do like the formula of this one. I do think the powders are very smooth. They're very nice to work with. I'm actually using this as I use this shade over here as sort of give some like use this as sort of bronzing contouring product today. I do think that the powder formula generally is very nice, and I do think that if you're looking for if you're a makeup artist looking to get something, because these are around 30 euros or a bit under 30 pounds if you buy these in UK. So these are actually pretty decently priced for having this like multiple shades covered. So for makeup artists, I do think that these are very good, like these would be good powders to work with, but again, because I got this as part of the mystery box, I'm not mad at it, and as I said, there are two shades in this one that I do like to use, and I do like the powder formula in general. So this is again staying in my collection, but if you get this, just be aware that there are most likely like a couple of shades that you will get use out of. But yeah, those were all the sort of cheap products I have, and let's now next get to the lip ones. So for lips, we are actually only going to be showing one product because a lot of the lip products that I've been getting have been lip balm type of products, and lip balms are skincare for me, and I don't think like I have been trying out one of the lip balms, and it's just like a normal lip balm, so there's nothing like special to I think talk about them. However, what I did want to bring out in this one was the, what was it called? Stay Shining, and I believe these are categorized as lip oils, but I am treating these more as lip glosses, and especially I think with this one is quite justified because the shade that I've been trying out is the Luminous Light. I actually also got one that is sort of lemon themed. I haven't opened that one yet, but this one actually also like, I don't know is the camera picking it up, but this one actually like has individual glitter particles within the formula. So I think especially with this one, it is actually quite, as I said, justified to treat this as a lip gloss. I'm actually wearing this currently on my lips on top of a lip liner. I do think that it's a nice lip gloss formula, or a lip oil formula if you want to call it that. But there's like, I do think that you do feel the sparkles a bit when you apply this to your lips. So if you don't like the feeling of individual sparkles when you initially apply a lip product, then this is not for you. But I don't mind it because the feeling goes away quite quickly. Obviously, because it's a gloss type of formula, you do have to reapply this during the daytime. The packaging you either will like or not, so this won't go, obviously because this is quite huge and you have the sort of crown in the top of it, you can't really like put this into a very small purse, but on the other hand, if you like super extra packaging, then you probably will love this. They have quite a bit of variation with variety in terms of like different kind of scents with this one, and I do think some of the other shades within this line do hold a bit more, have a bit more pigment. This is a sheer true shade, so you can basically layer this over any kind of lip liner. But if you want to get something that has a bit of a color, I do think they also have those in their website. But yeah, nothing I'd say else to say about this one. I did feel for some reason, even though this has this very sort of, how should I say, quite of a big doe foot applicator, I did feel that you did have to go a couple of times with this one from the tube to get a even layer of the product in to your lips. So that's maybe a bit surprising, because I would think that with a big doe foot applicator it would be quite easy to get a like even layer immediately, but that's just like a minor thing, and this is certainly not the only gloss where I felt that you have to go few times into the tube. But yeah, that was the sort of only product I had from the brand for this video. So next and lastly we are doing the eye products, and exceptionally so we are also having the eyeshadows included in this video. But let's first go through the like non-eyeshadow products. So first one is their base. So this is something that I got as a freebie in one of the orders, and this is their sort of Louise base, and this is one of their, I think, OG products that they have been known for. Mine is in the shade, I think this was 02, so I think this is the third or second lightest shade. I'm just gonna put some in the back of my hand again, so you can kind of see how that looks like. So this has actually been pretty good, because I don't like to use a completely white base, so this is actually the kind of color that evens out my eye color and creates sort of nice base without it looking like I have purely white base under my eyeshadow. Unfortunately, this is a formula that doesn't suit my skin type. So this is a more wetter formula, and I immediately noticed a few times when I initially wore this and I didn't do anything else, that this alone made most of my eyeshadows crease, because of course during the daytime my oils get through no matter how much powder or other stuff that I use. So after a few hours with my oils coming through also in terms of my eyelids, this was a hot mess. How I have been able to use this on my particular skin type is that I initially apply a thin layer of this, and then I go over with a translucent powder on my eyelids, and then I put my eyeshadows. That way I haven't had any issues. But if you are someone who has an oily skin or oily leaning skin, this is probably not the eye base for you, because again, this is a more wetter formula compared to some other eye bases that I have used. If you suffer from dry skin, then this probably is pretty good, because then this won't emphasize your dry eyelids, and then probably it will actually like do a pretty good job also in making your eyeshadow pop. Then something that is actually a lip product, but I have been treating this as an eye product. I'm actually wearing this as a liner today. So this is one of their lip liners. I will put the, let's see, what's the shade in the... This was in the shade Purpose, and it's basically I immediately said that I can't use this type of brown as a lip liner, so it's going to my as an eyeliner. I have used this, you will later see it in the eyeshadow section, that I have used this in one look on my waterline under my eyes, and then now today I have used this to sort of on my upper lid. I'm usually not a big kind of an sort of eyeliner person, but I do like to keep one eyeliner in hand for the special occasions. I think as an eyeliner this works quite decent. I do think that because it is still primarily a lip liner, it is like very easy to glide on your eyes or your like lower lash line, and it doesn't irritate or cause any like other issues, at least with my eyes. I didn't notice that kind of things. But I still don't think that this is the most, like, obviously because it's primarily meant to be a lip liner. If you're looking for something very long lasting, then this probably won't be it, because at the end of the day this is quite of a creamy formula, obviously because it's meant for your lips. So that's just something to consider. But I'd say for like everyday wear this is quite alright, even as an eyeliner, and because it's quite creamy, if you buy this for the purpose that it's meant to be as a lip liner, then I also don't think you won't be disappointed. But yeah, those were sort of like, I think the couple of like 2 other eye products I have, and now let's actually get to the eyeshadow palettes that I got. So we are gonna do this as we always do with in my sort of collective eyeshadow reviews, which is usually the kind of, so usually I split my review videos so that I do a collective makeup reviews, which are all the other makeup products, and then I have collective eyeshadow reviews where I specifically focus on eyeshadow palettes that have been on my rotation. But so for today, because we're doing something different, we are doing the eyeshadows in the same video. So the first palette, and I got this in one of the mystery boxes, so this was the A World Full of Wonder palette. So this was one of the very big 2-tiered palettes, and I'm just gonna show now the first tier because this is otherwise gonna get very difficult. So this was the all purple palette, so this is the sort of upper tier, and then if you pulled this one, you would have the lower tier of this. And I'm first gonna like just show this overall, and then you will be seeing the picture then with the looks and swatches. By the way, I haven't done the swatches when I'm filming this, so lucky future me who still has to actually swatch this bigger palette especially. So in terms of shades, I have always said, because I got one of these 2 tiers palettes in the sort of budget box that was posted like you got before Christmas. And when you have palettes that has 2 tiers of colors and they are in the same color family, you're bound to get like doubles. You could easily like shrink this down by combining some colors from this layer and some colors from this layer, and you would still like be good to go. But in terms of like having all the shades of purple, I did actually mention when I got this that this actually, especially this upper layer, is more in sort of my in terms of colors that I do like, because this has this more pinky sort of wine purple leaning purples, because the lower tier is more blue leaning purples, so that's not the colors that I usually like, but this upper tier actually had the colors that I do like. Now actually I'm gonna, you will see the looks and then the swatches that still haven't been done while I'm filming this, but will be when I will post this. So I don't know what happened with the formulation of this one. I did actually have to go check to see how old is this palette, and this isn't exactly like the newest of new in terms of Louise palettes when you sort of sort the eyeshadow palettes in the website in terms of their release date. And I was thinking that the mattes in this were very on par, for example, with the blue 2-tiered palette that I had. Some of, again, the more paler shades, as with the blue palette, with those ones, you did have to do more building. Some of the mid-tone shades also, some of them weren't as great, for example, as the shades in the blue palette, but they still, like, you were able to build them nice to have nice opaqueness. And what especially has surprised me with P. Louise's eyeshadow is that the deeper shades are also very easy to work with and blend, but those also like pack a punch immediately. However, I noticed every day when I wore this that it had only gone like an hour or 2 when I have done my makeup, and I immediately noticed that my eyeshadow was like creasing like crazy. And this time it wasn't about because I was using the base that I just talked about, but it wasn't about the base, because as I said, after a few days I started doing so that I actually applied a thin layer of powder on top of the base before I applied the eyeshadow. And the other palettes that I was using in my rotation when I was trying out this particular palette, with those one I didn't have that bad of an issue with the creasing. So I was like thinking that what is going on, but then actually when I have been like trying out some of the shades, and I'm actually gonna see that if I can like maybe do a swing finger swatch of the few ones in the. So these are like few of the shimmer shades, and I don't know is it translating to the camera how well I'm actually gonna see. They swatch quite nicely, but these are actually feel like almost pure cream eyeshadows, not just like a bit on the creamier side of shimmers, but actually more like purely like cream shadows. So with this one, and I don't think the blue palette had I think with the blue palette they might have done like maybe some revamping with the shimmer formulas, because with that one I didn't remember having the issue that the sort of shimmers almost creased away on my lids. So with this one, unfortunately what I'm gonna be doing after filming this and after doing the swatches for this video is that I'm going to be decluttering this palette, because it's such a big palette to have in my collection, knowing that I won't be using it, because the shimmers, and I tried most of the shimmers from the upper tier and from the lower tier, and aside from maybe 1 or 2, all the shimmers, most of the shimmers are into like very creamy formula. Unfortunately that one, on my eyelids, that just doesn't stay around, and as I said, with the blue palette, because it's a newer compared to that one, I think they may have done some like revamping in terms of the shimmer formulation. It's a shame because, as I said, I actually, well, the lower tier wasn't like my favorite, but this sort of like tier over here, I did actually like quite a lot of the shades. But it is what it is, and this is why like I like doing this testing out makeup formulations, and that this is how I know that some formulas are better than others. And at least with Louise we can say that there's been like clear development after this palette. So if you are thinking about buying this because this particular palette is still available, I would maybe consider that what kind of like a skin type you have, and if you have an oily leaning skin, and if you especially don't like using because a glitter glue might help a little bit with these one, but because they are super creamy, I don't even know that if you would use a NYX glitter glue, would it even help with these ones, or would they still actually crease in the end of the day. So unless you really like your very creamy shimmer shadows and you are somehow able to stick those to your lids, then I would like skip this one, even if you would like your purples. Then second palette that I'm actually currently wearing, and you will see it's one of the looks that also in the photos that I will see like later. But this is also a second palette that I got in my mystery boxes. So this is the Stack 'em Up, and this is the orange version. So I believe this has been a product that has been in the mystery boxes, and they had 4 color variations. So I got the orange one, and this is the Back Yourself is the name of this variation. And this is how it looks like. This is actually very on fall theme, I'd say, currently, with this red, sort of reddish orangey shades. And I am wearing this right now, and you will see a close-up of the photo right now with the swatches. This is already much better than the two-tiered palette. So with this one, and this is what I said when I said that there's clearly like they have been doing some experimenting with their formulas. I don't have creasing issues with the shimmers. I'm actually wearing one of the shimmers currently, and I have been wearing this, as you can see from the looks. I have worn this like on other days too, and I don't have the issue with the shimmers that I had with the purple palette. So, and the shimmers are still like I can do, because this only has 2 shimmers, we can actually do like a live swatching. So these are the 2 shimmers that are included, and very shiny still, but at least with these ones I haven't had the like issue that they crease away during the daytime. You won't get super many looks with this one, and because this has kinda like, for example, the 2 matte oranges you can see kinda here, they kinda blend in and look very similar. Also something that I also showed with the shimmers, because the orangey shimmer is yellow, it has a yellow shift to it. When you layer it with these other shades, with some looks you really weren't able to tell that was I wearing this yellow shimmer or the orangey shimmer, because the orange shifts to yellow quite heavily. So as you can see, and when you like look at the images, like you don't get super lot of variety in terms of looks, but I did like the quality of this one much better. Also did kind of feel that the matte shades of this one generally like worked better than some of the matte shades I tried in the purple palette. It could be related to formulation of the shades, but also like I think this also shows that when you're doing smaller palettes, you might actually have a bit more control over the formulation of individual shades than compared to when you have these very huge palettes where you have multiple different shades. So the chances increase in terms of having dot shades the bigger more shades you include. So I do with these ones, I also think that there's just been like a bit more like there's been a bit more control in terms of that are all the shades good quality. So if you happen to get these in one of the mystery boxes, I don't know, can you still buy this separately, but these could be like, if you're looking good like monochromatic palettes, then I do think the quality of these ones are great. But as I said, and as you can see from the photos, you aren't gonna get like super lot of variety in terms of looks, but you get some variety, and especially for fall time, this is definitely going to stay in my collection. And it's good that in terms of mystery boxes, at least one of the palettes was a hit. So those were all the sort of opinions I had about the Louise products that I hauled during the summer, and I've now been able to try. Definitely I do say that when I'm thinking about what were my favorites, I do think that the liquid blush was a hit. I also did, as I said, even though the big bronzing palette, in terms of like being able to use all of the shades, I won't be able to do it, but at least in terms of quality of the powders I did like, and there are 2 bronzer shades that I'm able to use. I'd also say that The lip gloss, lip gloss lip oil that has the very like extra packaging. I do actually like the formula and I do like the shine it gives, even though the packaging is maybe a bit big and clunky. And also in terms of eyeshadow, I was like quite positively surprised that for me the favorite was the Stack 'em Up, because I truly wasn't like expecting that to be a favorite, but then again it's now very on par with the sort of fall season in terms of color stories, and as I said, with the smaller palette there seems to be like a bit more effort put in the quality in terms of the individual shadows. But comment down below, have you tried any of these products, and what did you think about them, or is there any other like Louise products that you have been trying out recently and you have been very much liking? If you like this video, push the like button, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell button if you want to get notifications from my future videos. You can also find me with the same nickname, Makeup Hedgehog, on Instagram. I hope I'll be seeing you soon in another video. Bye bye!